Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen Amma ba'du fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we are going to read the lesson number 16 and lesson 16 name is Tafkhim and Tarqiq. What is Tafkhim and Tarqiq? The meaning of Tafkhim is to pronounce the letter in a thick tone and the Tarqiq is to pronounce the letter in a thin tone. You have learnt in the lesson number 1 like there are 7 musta'liya letters and we will pronounce always in thick voice, but these are 3 letters. Sometime we will pronounce these letters with thick voice, sometime we will pronounce these letters in thin voice. So let's go to read about alif. When we can read the alif in thick voice and in thin voice? When thick letter will become before the alif. When thick letter, I am telling you short definition. When thick letter will become before the alif, you will read the alif in thick voice. Thick letter mean musta'liya letters and raw. If raw has a zabar and page, double zabar double page, then you can read the raw alif in thick voice. Let me give you an example. Look at this letter. This is qaf. Okay, qaf is musta'liya letter. Next is alif. So there is musta'liya letter before the alif. So you will read the alif in thick voice. Qala. This is alif. And before the alif, ra. Ra has a zabar. Ra, if zabar and pesh will become top of the ra, then we will read in thick voice. So this ra is read in thick voice, and next letter is alif, and you can say to like thick letter is before the alif, so read the alif in thick voice. Same thing, alif, ra is thick letter, and uh, alif will be read in thick voice because there is thick letter before the alif. This alif doesn't have thick letter before it. This kaf is thin letter. Okay, so this is alif. We will read this alif in thin voice. This is alif. Next letter, previous letter is thin letter. We will read in thin voice. So now uh, about next letter. I hope you have understood. So next is lam. Lam is when we can read the lam with thick voice and in thin voice. This lam, like this rule is especially for lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. This thing, this lam, this lam is special for the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. Like this rule is special for lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. This rules can't be used for other lam. This rule will be used for lam of Allah Azza wa Jal especially. So if when zabar and pesh will become before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. These are long definitions, but I'm telling you short definitions. When zabar and pesh will become before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal, then read the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal in thick voice. Like this is lam, okay, and this is alif. Alif has a one zabar, so that means zabar is being come before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. So read this lam of Allah Azza wa Jal in thick voice. Okay, when zabar and pesh will become before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal, then read the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal in thick voice. If there will become before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal, then read in thin voice. This rule won't be able to be used for other lam like common lam. This rule will be used for specially lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now raw, like when we can read the raw in thick voice, there are 7 conditions for reading the raw in thick voice. First one, when zabar and pesh top of the raw. When zabar and pesh will become top of the raw. When double zabar double pesh will become top of the raw. When vertical zabar will become top of the raw. Let me give you one example, some examples about it. So first, first condition, if raw has a zabar or page, when zabar and page will become top of the raw, like this raw will be read in thick voice. This raw has a zabar, thick voice. This raw has a page, thick voice. This raw has a double zabar. This raw has a double page. So we will read in thick voice. Okay. Next, if raw has a vertical zabar, uh, Let me find the example. Yes, this raw has a vertical zabar, so you will read this raw in thick voice. Okay. Now next, when there will become, when the letter before a raw sakina has a zabar or pesh, we have learned this rule. Next one, when there is kasra arziya, like temporary zair before a raw sakina, when temporary zair will become before a raw sakina. Temporary zair mean, we will read in this definition what is temporary, what is temporary zabar, temporary zair, and temporary pesh. We will read in this definition. Okay. Now just learn this step, learn this rule. When temporary zair will become before the raw sakina, then raw will be read in thick voice. Okay. So next one, when the letter is a zair before a raw sakina in the next word. Okay. When there is a there before a raw sakina in the next word, like this, let me give you one example. You can see this is Rabbi, this is Arhama. These are two letters. Okay, this is first one, this is second one. There is there before the raw sakina, but not in the same word. There is being come before the raw sakina, like in the previous word, not in the same word. Rabbi is first word and this one is second. If there is comes, if there will become before the raw sakina in the same word, like below the alif, then you can read the raw in thin voice. But there is there not in the same letter, in the same word, so that's why you will read this raw in thick voice, because there is being come before the raw sakina in the previous letter. And next definition, when there is a no, when a letter of musta'aliya comes after raw sakina in the same word, like this letter qaf zabar qa. Okay, this is raw sakina, and this is qaf. This is raw sakina qaf, musta'aliya letter. When musta'aliya letter will become after the raw sakina, so you will read the raw in thick voice. When any musta'aliya letter will become after the raw sakina, then raw will be read in thick voice. I hope you have understood. And now more rules. The conditions of raw for reading in thin voice: when there is zair or double zair below it, like double zair. Okay, this raw has double zair below it, so that's why in thin voice this raw has a one zair and there is zair below this raw, so we will read these types raw in thin voice. Next one, when there is asli, original zair, like asli kasra, like original zair before a raw sakina in the same word, you can say to like real zair mean this zair, this zair is here before the raw sakina in the same word. Okay, in the same word. uh, Real zair and temporary zair, I'm going to tell you after this definition what difference between real zair, like, and temporary zair. What difference between these two things I will tell you after this definition. So ba is here before the raw sakina in the same word, we will read in thick voice. Now one question, like there is there before the raw sakina, so that's mean we should read the raw in thin voice, but qaf is front of the raw sakina. We have learned, if qaf will become after the raw sakina, then read the raw in thick voice. But there is there before the raw sakina in the same word, we should read thin voice. So what should we do? Like two rules are being applied for this letter at same time, so we will skip the first one. Okay, if qaf will become after the raw sakina, then you will skip the first one. Okay, so you will read the raw in thick voice. Next one, when there is a ya sakina before a raw sakina, like I will tell you about this answer, like with full detail in lesson number 21, but now I will tell you little bit about this rule. When ya sakina will become before a raw sakina, So this is raw double page rune. You can see a circle type sign. This sign mean stop here, make a pause. So if you make a pause and you will have to make pause on the last letter of the word. So this is last letter raw, and when zabar zer pesh, double pesh, khada zer ulta pesh will become top of the raw, you will change into sakin. Okay, for making waqf you will read in waqf this word khair. Okay, so this way raw will be changed into jazm, into sakin. So this ya is before the raw sakina. Okay, so you will read this raw in thin voice. I will tell you, don't get confused, inshallah I will tell you with full detail in lesson number 21 what is waqf, which signs should we change in waqf. Like I will tell you everything about pause, about waqf. Now just read these letters. Next is temporary, like arzi, temporary harkat. What is temporary harkat? Let me give you one example. See, this is Suratul Fatiha. Okay, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We you can say to like you change the noon into jazm. Okay, you read in namaz this surah and you read like alameen. You like don't read alamina, alameen. You changed, like you changed the noon into noon sakina. I will tell you about this in lesson number 21, but this is not topic right now. I was telling you about temporary harkat. What is temporary zabar? Temporary is a temporary pesh. After that, like Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. After that, you read Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, right? But this alif doesn't have zabar. But you read Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. So this alif doesn't have a zabar. We have to add by self. Okay. So this type harkat is called temporary harkat. Okay, we can't read ir-rahma, ur-rahma. No, no, no. Like already biggest Islamic scholars have told us like this is which harkat should be used for alif. Okay, we can't add by self. Biggest Islamic scholars already have told us this alif, like which harkat should be used for the alif. So this is alif, and we will add by self ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and this type harkat is called arzi harkat, temporary harkat. Let me give you one more example, like para 30 and para 30 and yes, you can say to like this alif. Okay, irji'i, we will read irji'i. We will add the zir below the alif. We can't read urji'i, urji'i. Already I told you, biggest Islamic scholars, biggest qaris of Quran have told us already, like zir can be used for this alif. Okay, so this we will read this letter, this word irji'i. This type zir is called temporary zir. Okay, and when temporary zir will become before the raw sakina, then you will read in thick voice. I hope you have understood. Now we are going to read the lesson, and repeat after me. This is qaf. Before the alif we will read the qaf in thick voice. Qaf, alif zabar qa, lam zabar la, qala, صاد زي صي، را ألف زبر را، صرا، طا زبر طا، صراط، سین زیر سی، را الف زبر را، سیرا، جیم ڈبل زبر جن، سراجن. There is thin letter before the alif, so we will read in thin voice. Kaf alif zabar ka, noon zabar na, kana. This is thin letter before the alif, so alif will be read in thin voice. Mim alif zabar ma, lam double zabar lan, malan. You have learnt already in lesson number 6 when alif or ya will become after the double zabar, so don't read in during spelling. Next, mim zabar ma, fa alif zabar fa, mafa, za double zabar zan, mafazan. This is thick letter before the alif, so alif will be read in thick voice. Ta alif zabar ta, lam zir li, tali, ba peshbu, talibu, ta alif zabar ta, ba waw peshbu, tabu, kha alif zabar kha, lam zir li, khali, dal double zabar dan, khalidan, ain alif zabar a, ba zir bi, abi, dal do pesh dun, abidun, ghain alif zabar gha, sin zid si, ghasi, qaf double zir qin, ghasiqin, ta zabar ta, ain alif zabar a, ta'a, mim double zir min, ta'amin. This is lam of Allah Azza wa Jal, and there is zabar before the lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we will read in thick voice. Hamzah lam zabar al, lam khada zabar la, Allah, ha pesh hu, Allahu, واو لام زبر ول، لام کھڑا زبر لا، واللہ، ہا پیش ہو، واللہ، فا لام زبر فل، لام کھڑا زبر لا، فاللہ، ہا پیش ہو، فاللہ، حمزہ نون زیر ان، نون لام زبر نل، ان، لام کھڑا زبر لا، ان اللہ، ہا زبر ہا، ان اللہ، ہا پیش ہو، واو لام زبر ول، ہول، لام کھڑا زبر لا، هو اللہ، ہا پیش ہو، هو اللہ، میم زیر می، نون لام زبر نل، مینل، لام کھڑا زبر لا، من اللہ، ہا زیر ہی، من اللہ، را زبر را، سین واو پیش سو، رسو، لام لام پیش لل، رسول، لام کھڑا زبر لا، رسول اللہ، ہا زیر ہی، رسول اللہ، را زبر را، ضاد زیر ضی، راضی، یا لام زبر یل، راضیل، راضیل، لام کھڑا زبر لا، رضی اللہ، ہا پیش ہو، رضی اللہ، قاف الف زبر قا، لام لام پیش لل، قالل، لام کھڑا زبر لا. قالوا الله. ها میم پیش ہم. قالوا اللهم. میم زبر ما. قالوا اللهم. This Z before the Lam of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we will read in thin voice. Lam Lam Zir Lil. Lam کھڑا زبر لا. للہ. ہا زیر ہی. للہ. با لام زیر بل. لام کھڑا زبر لا. باللہ. ہا زیر ہی. باللہ. با سین زیر بس. میم لام زیر مل. بسمل. لام کھڑا زبر لا. بسم اللہ. ہا زیر ہی. بسم اللہ. Next part of this lesson will be uploaded in the next video, inshallah. Remember me in your praise. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.